So let me share with you how SEO works. It all starts with your customer. What stage of the buying cycle is your customer in? Are they at awareness, consideration, or decision? That's the 3 stages of any buying cycle with any customer. The first stage, awareness, is simply the customer either is or isn't aware that they've got a problem, but they're not actually doing anything about it. The second stage is once they've figured out they've got a problem, they start to take action to solve that problem. And that's typically where SEO, Google Ads, search engine marketing comes into play. Because you get to target a customer when they're actively searching online to solve their problem. The third stage is decision, and that's when the customer understands the problem, they know what the solution is, they're just looking for a provider to deliver that solution. Search is also great for that stage. Let's talk about consideration. So when somebody's in consideration mode, they're actively searching to solve their problem. So how do we target that individual when they're doing that? You do that through SEO or Google Ads, or simply showing up in Google when they're looking. So what are keywords? Keywords are basically the terms or the words and phrases that somebody will use when they're searching for something online. So the idea of SEO is to really figure out what it is they're searching for, and then make sure that your website shows up when the user's looking for it. So how do you get your website to show up? The first thing that we do here at SEO Media is we conduct an audit. So we figure out, where does your website currently rank for the keywords that your customers are searching for? And how does your website stack up against your competitors or the people that are already ranking for that keyword? So once we figured out what the gap is and what we need to do in order to make your website rank, we get to work on your website. The first stage of any SEO campaign is called on-site optimization. So what is on-site optimization? Well, that's basically where we go and make sure that your website is up to scratch. It complies with all of Google's policies. So we want to make sure that it loads super quick. There's no broken images. There's plenty of text explaining what your website's about and what services and products you provide. We want to make sure that it shows up good on a mobile. We want to make sure that there's no penalties on it, that hasn't been, there's no spam or anything like that. So once we've got a really good understanding of where your website sits in comparison to your competitors, and we've done the on-site optimization, meaning we've done all the work to bring it up to scratch for you, the next stage from there is content development. So what's content development? Well, that's simply the words and content on your website that's communicating not only to the user, but also to Google what your website's all about. So there's 2 parts of content development. The first part is making sure we've got the right messaging and keywords on the site to communicate clearly what your website's all about. But the second part, and this is probably the most important and where I see a lot of agencies and people fall short, is when the person comes to your website, so you've done all this work to get them to your website, we've got to make sure that your website's structured in a way that makes it super easy for that person to get the information they want and then take the next action. So it's what we call conversion optimization or landing page optimization, right? So we get to work and make sure that once we've done all the hard work to bring a user to your website, that it's structured in such a way that it's really easy for that user to get the information, you clearly demonstrate that you understand their problem and that you've got the perfect solution for them, and you really make it simple for them to take the next step. So whether that's calling up, whether it's submitting an email inquiry, whether it's getting a quote, whatever that is, you've made the whole process super easy. So once we've got the content and the landing page optimization done, the next step, and this is probably one of the most important, is we need to build backlinks to your site. So what are backlinks? Backlinks are simply other websites that link back to your site. And the reason they're important is it's because it's like a vote of credibility in the eyes of Google. So think about it this way. If some random person on the street recommends you a restaurant, right? Versus if you happen to just run into Gordon Ramsay and he recommends you a restaurant, who's going to have more credibility? It's obviously going to be Gordon Ramsay as far as restaurants go. So it's the same thing with links. We need to make sure that really credible, high quality websites are linking back to your site, because it's not about just the number of other websites that link back to you, it's also about the quality of those websites. So the majority of the work in an SEO campaign, once you've got the content and the landing page optimization done, is building links. It's where most agencies fall short. It's where a lot of people struggle to DIY because it's super hard to get links. It takes a lot of time and effort, but once you get them, they're worth their weight in gold. So at SEO Media, we've been doing SEO now for over 10 years, and we've got that process really honed down. We've got a lot of great websites that we can get to link to you. We understand the link building process and what it actually takes to get those links to your site. So they're arguably the most important parts of any SEO campaign. Get the right content, communicate to Google and the user what you're all about, and then make sure that we've got a bunch of other websites linking back to you so that it boosts your credibility of your website. That's it. How long should an SEO campaign take? Typically anywhere from 6 to 12 months, depending on how well optimized or how well your website's currently built. So if you're a brand new website, you've just bought your domain name, you've just set up your website, it's less than a month old, your SEO campaign's probably going to take a little longer, maybe 12 months, sometimes 18 months, depending on how competitive your space is. But typically, on average, anywhere from 6 to 12 months is how long an SEO campaign should take to deliver your results. So why does it take that long? Well, the question is, why should Google trust you as opposed to one of your competitors? What makes your website special, and why should Google put your website first above your competitors? That's the real question that you need to answer. And the way you do that is just like I explained, developing really good high quality content and making sure you have authoritative websites linking back to you. So how do you know that an SEO campaign is working? Given that it takes 6 to 12 months before the SEO campaign will work, understanding the progress that you make and that it's heading in the right direction is really crucial. So during the first sort of 1 to 3 months, you may start to see some pretty big jumps in your rank. So for example, you might be ranking, let's say, page 10 of Google for a particular keyword. All of a sudden, you might then see that keyword in the first 3 months jump from page 10 to page 3 or to page 2. And you might think, great, we're on our way. But realistically, nobody's going to find you on page 3 or page 2. Because most people, and this is a commonly known stat, most people don't go beyond the first page of Google. Why do you need to? You've already got 13 results on that home page. Most people don't need to go to page 2. And in fact, the stats are less than 1% of people go there. So even though your rank might have improved from page 10 to page 2, you're not going to see a result in terms of leads or customers because no one's going to find you because no one's clicking on page 2. The real results start to come when you're in the top 3 listings, or at least on page 1 of Google. So you really need to get to those top 3 listings before you start to see a result. So if you're running an SEO campaign and you're seeing improvements, what you want to be looking for is those incremental improvements each month. So going from page 10 to page 8 to page 7 to page 3 to page 2 to page 1. So how are you going to track all that? Well, any SEO company that's running a campaign should be giving you, at very minimum, monthly reports. At Yo Media, we give our clients 24/7 access to a reporting dashboard. So at any time, day or night, they can see exactly where their website ranks for all the keywords that we're trying to optimize for. We also send out a monthly report showing all the rank, how that's changed over the last month, as well as all the people that have come to the website for the previous 30 days. In addition to that, we do what's called a quarterly strategic review. So then every 3 months we sit down and we look at how has the rank improved over the 3-month period? How has the traffic to the website improved? How have you stacked up against your competitors and how have you chased them down and outranked them? And we also look and make sure that there's no errors on the website, and we'll also give you a full report in terms of how many backlinks that we've built throughout the last 90 days. So if you've tried SEO in the past, you've either tried to DIY it or you've been with an agency that just hasn't delivered results, then give us a call. It doesn't cost us anything to do an audit. It doesn't cost you anything to do a full audit of your website and give you an understanding of any work that's already been undertaken by a previous company or where you currently stack up against your competitors. We can provide that to you, no cost. You can even use our free SEO audit tool on the website. Just drop your website address and your email and you can get a free report that'll tell you all the things that you need to fix on your website. Also, really importantly, is when you work with an SEO company, make sure they've got some sort of guarantee in place. Make sure they can back it up and provide you with a guarantee. At Yo Media, we've got a guarantee that if we can't rank you on the first page of Google within the first 90 days, then you stop paying until we do. So that's it. If you want to work with an SEO company that's going to get you results and get you real customers, then give us a call. Happy to have a chat.